Alright guys, so we are going to be doing CHING number 15 today. I finally have some things in this CHING of that one yard sale that I had gone to not that long ago where I got some nice vintage pieces at. So we're getting up there with some more recent stuff. I try to do like about 40 things in each CHING because I tend to ramble a little bit when I'm, talking about things. So we're just going to get straight on into where we left off from CHING number 14. So the first thing that I had that I sold was a set of cat nesting dolls. These were so cute and I debated on keeping them just because I absolutely love cats. So I decided to sell them though. I paid $1 for these at a yard sale and they sold for $12.99. So I was a little sad to see those go, but I wasn't really using them or displaying them or anything like that, so I just decided to sell them. Next I have a Torrid tank top that I sold for $21.50. I got this at a thrift store, and yeah, I pretty much always pick up anything that's Torrid brand. It tends to sell. Some things do more well than others, but it's definitely a brand that for me seems to sell regardless. Next thing was a men's button-up dress shirt. This was a brand I had never heard of before. I found it at Goodwill. It's by a company called Stenstrom's, and their clothing, like their shirts, are so expensive, like over $100 for a button-up dress shirt. A very, very nice quality. It was something that I knew as soon as I felt it that it was just amazing quality. Like that's why I always talk about like touching things and feeling things, because that's how sometimes you can tell the quality of something by touching it, and this just felt amazing, and that's what like made me actually look up the brand and find out that it actually was a really nice company. So that ended up selling for $39.99, which was awesome because I got it at the thrift store, probably paid, I don't know exactly how much men's dress shirts are. I would say like no more than $4 I paid for that. So that was awesome, and I've never come across that brand before, and I don't know if I ever will again, but if I do, I know now to definitely buy it. Next we got this is like an old Alice in Wonderland diary. It was brand new. It was still like wrapped in plastic, and it had like the little padlock and keys. I am just naturally drawn to older stationery type items. I don't know why. I just find those things for me, and I know it's so weird, but I just find it comforting. It's something I always liked. Like even when I was a kid, I had like really cute stationery sets. I mean, Lisa Frank. I loved stickers. I still love stickers. Like I just loved all of that kind of stationery type stuff. That was like my jam. Like I loved that kind of stuff. So when I saw this, I was just naturally drawn to it, and I love Alice in Wonderland, so I just had to get it. I figured someone else would find much joy in that, and they must have, because they purchased it for $15.99. I probably paid like $1.99, I would say. That's probably what I paid for it at Goodwill. Next we have a moose mug by Big Sky Carvers. Eric actually found this at, I believe, Goodwill. It sold for $23.99. I was sitting on it for a little while, but the Big Sky Carvers, like a lot of their stuff does sell, and does sell really well. So I would definitely, if I would see anything by that company again while out, I would definitely look at it, look it up, and possibly, repurchase it. Next was a Dogfish Head Brewery men's shirt. This one was really cool. It had like a zombie bunny rabbit on the front. I wasn't quite sure how well these would sell. I had gotten a couple brewery shirts at Goodwill, and this was one of them. It sold for $15.99, which isn't bad. But like I said, at the time when I bought it, I just kind of thought it was so unique and interesting looking, but I didn't know, you know, what I was going to get for it. I was just kind of buying it off of like looks alone type of thing. But it did end up selling, and I don't have it yet in a CHING, but when I got that shirt, I also got another Dogfish Head Brewery shirt at the same time, and that one just sold recently, so you'll see that in like another CHING video. But you know, they are selling, so that's awesome. Next, I got a pair of Minnetonka sandals. These sold for $29.99. I think Minnetonka is a good brand. I don't always pick it up, but you know, if I see them and they're in like really nice condition and, you know, cheaper, than I typically do. Next, I have a vintage Halloween. This was like a rubber, like black cat horn noisemaker. That's the word I was trying to find, a noisemaker. So this was still sealed in the packaging. I got it at Goodwill. It sold for $17.99. I love vintage holiday decor, mainly Halloween and Christmas, but I mean, I'll look at all of it. It's just something that interests me, so it's like, if it's something that I don't want to personally keep, then, you know, I'm willing to sell it. And I debated on keeping this because I kind of wanted like a little, when I decorate for Halloween, I kind of wanted like a little section of like vintage Halloween specifically vintage Halloween stuff in like a little area. But I didn't want to take it out of its package, and I didn't want to decorate it still in its plastic package, so I just decided to sell it. But yes, it did sell. I got a perfume. This was by a company called Lalia. It's a lavender and honey perfume. I think I used it like one time. I wasn't the biggest fan of the scent, but it did sell for $49.99. You guys know perfume is like my absolute favorite thing to sell. Just hands down favorite. And my second favorite is purses. So my next item is a black fossil purse that sold for $18.99. There was a subscriber who purchased like a bunch of stuff from me, which was so awesome. I hope you enjoyed everything that you purchased. So she purchased that purse. She also bought my next thing, which was a set of vintage unicorn coasters. I had recently got these at Community Aid, and they sold for $19.99. And she also purchased 2 of my hen on nest glasswares. You guys might have seen in my 1 yard sale video, there was a dollar table of vintage items. So I paid $1 for all of the hens. So she purchased a little mini amber hen that sold for $9.99, and then she also won my purple slag glass hen that ended at $20.49. So I hope that she enjoyed all of those goodies. That was so fun to see, you know, that someone purchased so many things of mine. Next we have, this was a weird kind of purchase. I got this at a thrift store. They were a quarter a piece, I believe, or maybe one was $1 and the other one was 25 cents or 50 cents. I can't remember. It was no more than $2 that I spent on them. But it was by a brand called Alcalado, and it came with what they called a lotion and then a soap. But these had like menthol in them, so they were good for like your sinuses and stuff like that. And those sold, I put them together as a lot, and they sold for $17.99. I sold a pair of Vionic shoes for $29.99. This is one of those orthopedic type brand of shoes. It's definitely like a brand that when I see and I can get it for cheap, I purchase them, because every single pair, I think I've sold 2 other pairs by that brand and they both sold. This next item also went to a subscriber. It was the Black Cat Face, a little cast iron trinket dish that sold for $15.99. Eric and I got that at the auction. The auction still isn't open yet. They are opening soon, so I'll probably get back there again. It's probably going to be a little bit different when I do go, because typically Eric had off that day, but his hours at work are changing, so he's not going to be able to go to the auction anymore. So it's kind of like up to me, and you guys know I'm like so shy and just not very outgoing. I'm always like afraid like I'm not going to understand the auctioneer, and I just get very confused easily. So I'm a little worried about it, like doing it by myself, but it's something that I'm going to try to overcome my fears, because I really like it there and I found some great stuff there. So crossing my fingers that that all works out in the end. I think I'll have more confidence when you guys are with me, like when I'm recording. So you'll have to like cheer me on that, you know, I'm going to be doing it by myself. Next we have the Anthropologie stapler. I purchased this at a yard sale not that long ago for $2, and it sold for $19.99. So definitely anything Anthropologie I think seems to sell pretty decently. Next is an Urban Decay makeup brush. This was just like a big kabuki brush. I had it for a while and never used it. It was a very big brush and just wasn't suitable for anything that I needed it for. When I purchased it, my idea in my head to use it was for like body shimmers, just because it was a very big kabuki. But I don't really wear body shimmers anymore. I used to when I was younger, but now I just feel like I don't need to put glitter on my body anymore, which I'm sure Eric is happy about, because that would just get everywhere and all over him. But anyway, the brush sold for $8.99, so not a whole lot, but you know, it was something I just wasn't using. Next was an Orvis dress that sold for $24.99. I had this for a while and I was surprised that it didn't sell sooner. I just thought it was really pretty. Next we got an 80s. This was a men's Spalding shirt that still had the tags on. So this is what they would call new old stock when you are reselling something vintage clothing that still has the old tags on. It sold for $18.99, so that's awesome. I'm always like hoping in the back of my mind that places that buy like the vintage stuff like that are like going to movies or TV shows where like the wardrobe has to like dress people from like back in, you know, a certain era. But you know, there's other people that still really like vintage fashions to wear themselves. So I wasn't surprised that that sold for what it did. Next, I sold those fancy Japan ashtrays that I got at a yard sale. I think I paid $2 for these, and they sold for $12.99. I sold a little small Amberina hen on nest. This is from the same time I purchased the other hen, so it was $1 and I sold it for $16. Next is I always say after everything, and I apologize for that. It's like I realize I'm doing it, but I just can't stop myself from doing it. It's just a mental thing. I just wanted to do it again, even though I was just talking about doing it. A 90s vintage Shrinky Dink kit. This sold for $12.99. I like selling older toys, and the fact that this one had never been open was awesome. I sold a Kate Spade wallet for $39.99, and I got this at a yard sale for $1. I couldn't believe it. I still can't believe it. Sometimes like I just can't wrap my head around the fact that like I can get something for so incredibly cheap at yard sales. It's just insane sometimes to me. As soon as I think I found like the most coolest thing for the cheapest price, I end up finding something even cooler and cheaper, you know, somewhere else down the line. So it's just awesome. Next is another Fossil purse. This one was a brown Fossil bag, crossbody. I'm pretty sure I paid $2 for this at a yard sale, and it sold for $15.99. I feel like squeaky. My mouth is just really, really dry from talking. I should have brought a drink up with me, so I apologize for that. Next is, I'm trying to catch myself from saying Next is a Coach green wallet. I got this at Goodwill. I think I want to say I paid like $4.99 for it, but it was in really nice, like almost like new condition, and that sold for $18.99. That surprised me. I kind of thought maybe it would go for a little more than that, but I think maybe just because of the color, maybe not everyone, has a green purse, or you know what I mean. Yeah, I feel like neutrals and black are kind of a more, common color for purses, and that might sell a little more well. Next, see, I did it again. Now that's probably all you guys are gonna hear because I'm obsessing about it. Okay, so next was a silk vintage beaded purse. This sold for $17.99. This was really pretty. It was missing one of the beads that was hanging off of the bottom, but it still did sell. Next was a men's Wrangler pearl snap button shirt. This sold for $16.99. Unfortunately, this isn't one of the shirts from that huge bunch of like Western wear stuff that I purchased before. This was something I had already had listed, so I'm like, I need to list a lot more of that stuff. I listed some of it yesterday, but there's just so much more stuff I have to list. It's insane. Next is a Liz Claiborne tank top. This sold for $5.99. So again, not a whole lot, but that is kind of a leftover from, my other CHINGs where I was talking about trying to get some clothing out. So I was selling it super cheap. I also got a Kate Spade. This was an apple print purse. This was really cool. I got this for $1 at a yard sale. I don't understand. Kate Spade for $1. That's the second Kate Spade thing I got for $1. Anyway, this sold for $25.99. I think it went for cheaper because of the print. I don't know how, popular an apple print is. And it was like a nylon purse. It wasn't like leather or anything like that. But still, Kate Spade for $1. I mean, whew, gotta love it. Next was another Torrid item. This was a Torrid dress that had anchors all over it. It sold for $25.99. This was a dress I got at Goodwill. If you guys had seen that video, I think I had mentioned, like, I saw it before everything shut down because of Corona, and then when I went back to Goodwill, once they reopened, the dress was still there, so I figured I would just buy it, and I'm glad that I did. I sold a pair of women's Salvatore Ferragamo shoes. I always want to say Ferragamo. Ferragamo. They sold for $29.99. I think some shoes of that brand do sell well, and others not so much. Next is a pair of men's Florsheim like dress boots. These sold for $39.99. These were some really snazzy looking boots. Next is a vintage kitten baby blanket. I love vintage linens and baby blankets. I think also seem to sell decently. This sold for $14.99. I don't know. I feel like I got it at a yard sale, so I can't imagine I paid more than $1 for it. I sold a men's Pendleton wool button-up shirt for $29.99. Pendleton, I think with Pendleton, men's clothing sells the best for me, or as long as it's wool. If it's a wool Pendleton item, it seems to sell more than just, regular Pendleton shirts, because I have two women's Pendleton shirts that, aren't wool or anything like that. I'm having a hard time selling, but I've sold women's Pendleton skirts without a problem. So that's just my observations as far as selling Pendleton goes. Next is the Sack purse that sold for $16.99. And this is another instance where some Sack brand items seem to sell really well and others don't. I really don't know why that is, and I don't know, you know, the reasoning behind it. Like this one I feel like didn't sell for too great, but I sold like a tealish green colored one. I think that was in my last CHING that went for more. So I don't know if it has to do with the coloring or, you know, the print or anything like that. But that's why when I see Sack purses, I'm kind of picky, I guess you'd say, because I just saw one at a yard sale last week or the week before, I can't remember now. And I didn't get it. Next was a Joy Susan. This was made out of a vegan material purse that sold for $29.99. It still had the tags, and I got that at Goodwill. Let's see. I sold, oh, here we go. Here is some stuff from that one yard sale that I went to that had a bunch of vintage stuff that I was getting for $1. So I sold a Fire King. This was a cereal bowl. And it was the Harlequin print. Cereal bowls, Fire King, I think are harder to find. And I think this one was yellow. And I think they also made like blue or green, I want to say. But that sold for $23.50. I got it for $1. So that was really awesome. At that same sale, I got a Treasure Craft vintage blue ashtray for $1, and that sold for $19.99, which is awesome. I like made out like a bandit at that yard sale. At another yard sale, I purchased this Mexican pottery vase. This was so beautiful. I think I paid $5 for it, and it sold for $25.99. So gorgeous. And the cha-ching I think you have all been waiting for is that Catherine Home Scampi plate that I got at that same vintage yard sale for $1. It sold for $135 and I paid $1 for it. Oh my goodness. I don't think I'll ever come across another Catherine Home piece in my lifetime, but if I do, I will be picking it up because that is insane. Her stuff sells very well. I feel like the piece that I had was more rare, harder to find, so I think that's one of the reasons that it went for so much. But yeah, that was just amazing. Absolutely amazing. Just love it. This is why I love doing what I'm doing. Just because it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy what some things will sell for. Like that man had no idea what he had. He just had it laying out on a blanket on his front lawn. How much are you asking for this? Oh, $1. Oh my goodness gracious. Alright guys, well that's everything for this latest CHING video. Hope you liked it. I should have mentioned this in the beginning of the video, but I didn't. I did recently create a Facebook page dedicated to my YouTube channel. So I am going to be posting on there probably like pictures and things like that, and like when I post videos and stuff like that. So if you're interested in following me over there, I have the link down in my description. Someone had made mention the other day about me doing live videos while I am at like curb alerts. So you guys can like tell me, you know, what to pick up and stuff like that. And I like that idea. I think it's a pretty awesome idea. And I feel like Facebook might be the better bet to do that on, because I know it's like you're easily able to do Facebook feed lives and that kind of thing, because I've done them before on my own personal page when I've been at concerts and stuff like that. So, you know, if I get a lot of people over there on that page, then I may eventually, you know, at times when I see crib alerts and I'm going to them, try and do like a live feed. So anyway, that's everything for this video. Like I said, hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you thought down below, and you can comment and let me know if you're also reselling, what has been selling for you lately as well. So I will see you guys next time.